So I tried to do something creative to have a massive effect on my FPL rank, and whilst I wouldn't be lying if I said I was successful, I would be lying if I said I was happy with the result. So guys, as you can see, this is before the end of the Manchester City game. I'm recording this as late as possible because I want to be able to face up to my failures in front of you instead of do a video early and then be able to completely ignore some games and then potentially ignore the fact that I've had a bad game week, because I want to be honest with you guys. And in the spirit of that, be honest with me in the comments down below and let me know what the worst decision that you've made in FPL this season has been, because I'm about to go over one of mine. So at the moment we sit on 49 points, and as we scroll down the team you can see that we managed to get the captaincy option considerably wrong, because we put it on Raul Jimenez, the postman that always returns. Failed to return as soon as I put the captaincy armband on him. Calvert-Lewin also just is not doing anything for me right now, which is very, very disappointing to say the absolute least. In midfield, we did have some success. Of course, there was a glaringly obvious captaincy choice in there, which if I'd been a bit more ballsy, I would have stuck with Bruno Fernandes as captain, because I did fancy a good result for Man United against Brighton Hove Albion, and Fernandes delivered with 15 points. Now that could have had a massive effect on my game week. And if you watched the Wildcats stream as well, you would have seen that I did say I wanted to bring in Saint Maximin, but then instead what I did was I suppose you could say, a bit paranoid. And didn't play bravely and wanted to triple up on Man United. Now I already had a triple up. I had Greenwood, Pogba and Fernandes, but I swapped out Greenwood for Nketiah, who didn't play, and brought in Martial instead of bringing in Saint Maximin. Martial did nothing. Saint Maximin, of course, got 3 assists in his game against Bournemouth in a fixture I really fancied him to do something in. So again, a decision I was very keen to make, I talked myself out of and didn't take that brave move, and instead went with what I would consider a more safe move, but a move that I was never really fond of, because Martial to me has always been a player that is a bit hit and miss, a bit hot and cold, and I personally don't like him as an FPL option for my own game, because I just feel like I never get on him at the right time. I prefer Rashford, prefer Fernandes. We also have the Son experiment, who came in for Kevin De Bruyne, and as I'm talking to you right now, Kevin De Bruyne has a goal and an assist against Liverpool, and Son has only returned, in the time he's come in for KDB, 2 assists. So I failed there, because KDB has returned 2 goals and Son only 2 assists, and Kevin De Bruyne also has an assist to his name, so that hasn't gone too well. I also tried to predict Man City not doing well against Chelsea and Liverpool. I was correct with the Chelsea game, which wasn't necessarily the game I was that confident in getting right. I thought the Liverpool-Man City game might have been for the title when I made this decision, and unfortunately for me it isn't, which has meant that Man City have pretty much destroyed Liverpool in the game they're currently playing, and it doesn't look good for Liverpool and maybe Liverpool options moving forward. This might be the champagne period where they just don't actually perform that well for the rest of the season. Doherty and Martinez though did return me some points. Doherty getting a clean sheet. Would have liked it if he got the attacking return instead of Johnny. And Martinez is doing okay, especially considering his price of 4.2 million. So let's get into my team for next game week. And before we do that though, if you're enjoying the video so far and you want FPL content in your subscription box, consider subscribing. A total of 60% of you are not subscribed to this channel right now, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and also like the video. And don't forget to leave that comment in the comments down below about the biggest mistake you've made in FPL this season. But as we go over my side, we can see that we currently have Martinez in goal against Wolverhampton. We don't have another option there, so it's pretty much going to stay that way. We then have Justin against Crystal Palace at home, Alexander-Arnold against Aston Villa, and Doherty against Arsenal. Now I don't mind any of those fixtures really. I think Wolves can do something against Arsenal, and the other 2 fixtures do look good. Elsewhere in defence we have Lascelles against West Ham. Now West Ham did up their game for the derby against Chelsea, but will they do the same for a game against Newcastle? We'll have to wait and see on that. And we have Kiko Firmino, who is very unlikely to get into the side. He's just the bench player. With Chelsea coming up, Watford haven't really impressed me. Then in midfield, we've got Salah against Villa as well, Son against Everton, Fernandes against Bournemouth, Pogba against Bournemouth, and Martial against Bournemouth. Now, I'm tempted to just stick with Martial for one more game, just in case he does something against Bournemouth, because Bournemouth look like a side that are there for the taking. I'd feel really gutted if I took him out and he did something convincing against Bournemouth, so he might stay for one game purely for that fixture, and while he isn't a player I necessarily want in the side, he does have that explosiveness that could have a big impact on me trying to get my rank back to what it was before I played my wildcard. Then up front we have Jimenez and Calvert-Lewin. Now Calvert-Lewin looks like someone that I might have to get out of my side because he's just not returning anything right now. Jimenez against Arsenal could really return something. I doubt Jimenez will be captain. It's most likely going to be one of these Man United options, potentially Fernandes, although that probably means he's not going to return. But I wish I'd stayed on him this game week, so it might go back to him. Nketiah could come in with the Wolves game in mind instead of Calvert-Lewin, but Calvert-Lewin and Son are probably the people that I want to change the most. I want to get some Man City boys in, and they've got Southampton in their game on Sunday, so potentially I could be bringing in Kevin De Bruyne because I just feel like you have to have Kevin De Bruyne in your side if you play FPL. I took a gamble on trying to predict him not getting many points in the current game week, and I got it completely wrong, and I just have to face the fact that I made a mistake. So those are the moves I'm most likely going to make. In the comments down below, do make sure to also put the moves you're thinking of making as well as again, if you want to support the channel in any way, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, as well as checking out the links in the description down below. I am now streaming on Twitch, and I hope to be streaming tomorrow on Twitch, and maybe streams are coming back to YouTube for FPL. I've got a bit of an idea there which we might try and run tomorrow, but it would be a bit of a beta test, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this video. Feel free to laugh at me in the comments as well if you want to. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.